is Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Japan. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eurosat 16A on 11,512 MHz vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 mega symbols per second, standard DVB-S2, modulation 8 PSK, audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
With the news, the headlines. 5,697 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in Romania in the past 24 hours. The center-rightist parties in the Romanian parliament will continue negotiations on Friday with a view to forming the government. And Thursday was a day of mourning for the western city of Timișoara. 31 years since the killing of the first participants in the anti-communist uprising. 697 new cases of SARS-CoV-2 contamination have been registered in Romania in the last 24 hours. After 28,099 tests have been made at national level, the Strategic Communication Group informed on Thursday afternoon. In the same period, 107 infected people died, taking the total death toll to 13,969. 11,860 COVID-19 patients are hospitalized in special health units, of whom 1,297 in intensive care. Since the outbreak of the pandemic, 577,446 cases of people infected with the new coronavirus have been confirmed in Romania, of whom over 477,000 have recovered. The number of Romanians abroad confirmed with the new coronavirus increased to 7,034, 3 more than the latest figure reported, with the number of dead remaining at 127. President Klaus Iohannis convened a new working meeting to manage the COVID-19 epidemic, to be attended by the interim Prime Minister Nicolae Ciucă and the main officials in the health domain. The National Committee for Emergency Situations on Thursday established a series of health protection rules for the organization of official events, parliamentary sessions, meetings, preparatory working meetings, as well as ceremonies commemorating the events of December 1989. At official ceremonies taking place indoors, the participants are obliged to wear face masks and to keep physical distance of at least 1 meter. Also, the organizers of the events have to ensure areas of 4 square meters for each person and to ventilate rooms for at least 10 minutes every 2 hours. The first 3 rules also apply to official events held in open spaces where a maximum of 100 participants are allowed. Also on Thursday, the National Committee for Emergency Situations updated the list of countries and territories considered to have a high epidemiological risk. The people coming to Romania from these countries must be quarantined for 14 days, a period that can be shortened after the 3rd day based on a negative COVID-19 test. The list of so-called yellow zones includes the Republic of Moldova, the Netherlands, Cyprus and Turkey, with Italy having been eliminated. All in all, 37 states and territories are on the updated list of the Romanian authorities. Germany has donated to Romania medical equipment for the intensive care units where COVID-19 patients are being treated. The equipment consists of 40 pulmonary ventilation devices intended for the treatment of patients suffering from moderate and severe forms. The equipment was transported to Bucharest by Romanian Air Force aircraft. The same aircraft brought home 4 Romanian soldiers who had been wounded in October in a mission in Afghanistan and who were treated at the medical center in Germany. According to the Romanian Defense Ministry, they will be hospitalized for evaluation by a medical commission. Depending on the outcome of clinical and paraclinical investigations, the military will benefit from specialized medical treatments, psychological assistance, and counseling, and post-operative neuromotor recovery programs adapted and individualized. In Romania, the negotiations between the National Liberal Party, the Save Romania Union Plus Alliance, and the Democratic Union of Ethnic Hungarians in Romania for the formation of a center-right governing coalition will continue on Friday. The leaders of the three parties have announced. In a joint statement, they said that all solutions are on the table and that each party expressed flexibility. The negotiations resumed on Thursday after the three parties had not managed to reach an agreement in the last 2 days. The Liberals have come up with 2 options for the Prime Minister post. The current Finance Minister, Florin Câțu, and the former Prime Minister, the Liberal President, Ludovic Orban. According to the Liberals, this decision could make the negotiations more flexible, but the Save Romania Union Plus Alliance has already rejected the idea of Ludovic Orban re-entering the race for the Prime Minister position. On the other hand, the Social Democrats proposed Professor Alexandru Filă for this position. Thursday was a day of mourning in Timișoara, in western Romania, where on December 17, 1989, the dictator Nicolae Ceausescu ordered the use of lethal ammunition against people who challenged in the street the communist regime he was leading. The protests in Timișoara, where almost 100 people died and about 350 were injured, were the spark that led a few days later to the fall of the dictator, following the bloodiest revolution in southeastern Europe. In memory of the heroes of Timișoara, religious services were scheduled for this year's commemoration, as well as wreath-laying ceremonies, pilgrimages, the monuments erected in the city, in the hottest places of the revolution, an exhibition, and a special meeting of the local council. And that was the news from Bucharest, Radio Romania International.
Timișoara commemorates the heroes of the anti-communist revolution of 1989. I'm Elena Inache with more on this topic in a report by Roxana Vasile.